I've had some excellent discussions with some of the other Sciana members about this issue around how do we spread and scale up good practice. It's a really big issue for my organisation, working at a national level. How, when there is a piece of good practice happening somewhere, do we translate it across the country? And it's really challenging, and in the debates that we've been having, we've kind of identified three kind of high-level issues that we need to think about. So one is, how do you assess an innovation in one area to understand what it is about that innovation that might be able to be translated somewhere else? Because it's not always obvious, it's not always the intervention, sometimes it's about the way people have worked together, sometimes it's the process. We then were thinking together about how might we make better use of marketing technologies to create a pull. So often we try and push new models at services. How do we actually get services to pull new ways of working towards them? And I'm really interested, as are some of my Sciana colleagues, in what we could learn from marketing, and particularly how we might segment populations and use different techniques at either different professional groups or the work that Paul Bates talked about, in that they think about how they're going to share what they're doing in terms of the innovation curve. So the early adopters need a different approach to the folk who are in the middle of the adoption curve. And then the third and final issue we talked about is, how do we better support implementation and adaptation? So if we've got a model that works somewhere, how do we really help another area to implement it? And particularly this idea about taking somebody from the originator site and embedding them into the new site for a while to help with that translation of practice.